Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series X-Men, The Age of Apocalypse Wave 2. This is the Build-A-Figure video for Colossus himself. As you can see, I have all the pieces here. I am going to build him, and I'm thinking he's going to be so large that he's going to be completely out of the frame once I put him together, which tends to be the case with Build-A-Figure. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the torso piece here. We're going to throw on the legs. This looks like a right leg, so we're going to pop that on there. Yep, he's gonna be way out of frame, but that's okay. So we're gonna get the left leg now. We're gonna pop that on there. It goes on there nice and snug, not difficult or anything to do. And you can see big boy is gonna be tall. We're gonna get an arm. This is his right arm. The shoulder's like, feels like it's turned. There, that's probably a little bit more like it. We're gonna pop that into the torso piece. Nice snap in there. That is nice. I like it when it does that because then I know that it is on there secure instead of guessing and then they pops off later like I'm looking at you, watcher, Build-A-Figure. Left arm, we're gonna pop that in there. Makes a nice popping sound. And then we have the interchangeable hands and we have the head. Let's zoom out so you guys can see how well the head goes on there. Okay, so now we have Colossus set up here. I have the head. I already put the bandana strap pieces on the back of the head in that Sabretooth video. So here is the body. Let's get this head placed onto there. See how difficult it's going to be. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass to pop that head on there. So I got that, but then the straps came undone because it's a little tiny ass ball peg there that connects into the back. It looks really funky kind of without it too. So we're just going to port this right back onto the back of the head, and you can kind of have it move, like wave in the air any which way. So I guess that's the kind of the cool idea about it. So depending on whatever like look you're going for, or if you're doing some kind of photography, you can have these kind of waving out in the background in some crazy different ways. That's going to make sense for the position that you have them in. So that's kind of cool. But yeah. Damn, even at that tall, he's beefy, and I got to push him all the way back and really reach in to get it. But he looks incredible. So here, I'm going to do a couple quick size comparisons with some other Colossus figures. So here is the classic-looking Colossus. I have one leg that's a little warped in there. And here was that more modern. Was this the Marvel Now Colossus? So 3 different Colossus figures now. This one's still going to be my favorite. This one's really cool. It's just the Age of Apocalypse designs just aren't my favorite. They're just very different. You know what I mean? No, not that they're bad. They're not bad. It's just not really what I would prefer. But he does look really cool. I like the classic colors. So they kept the color scheme and everything. I think the sculpt of his body, the metal body that they gave him, really looks nice. It came out really cool looking. Yeah, so let's get in for a closer look at Colossus. Okay, so here's a close-up look at Colossus, and he is just beefy. Like he's a big boy. This is a big guy. You know, the Build-A-Figures tend to be bigger, but yeah, he's quite large. One thing that I don't know how much I really like this, it's cool that we have the option to kind of move it around, but it pops out quite easily, and then you have to kind of pop in. I worry that over time it's just going to kind of warp itself to where it's really not going to want to stay in, so just be aware of that. The paint apps on this guy are pretty good. On his head, the white for the teeth came out pretty good. There's a little bit of black in there for gums, a little bit of black around his eyes, and then just white for the eyes. But the sculpted detail of the head sculpt is really nice, like the bandana, the mask portion. We got wrinkles in there, which all look really good, just adds kind of to it. I really like that. We get these silver, like rivets type design up here, and those came out looking pretty good. I mean, almost has like a rust-like look, but what that is like the red kind of shining through the silver paint that's on there. But the strap is sculpted quite nicely. You can see a lot of sculpted detail in there. The shoulder straps, as you can see, I've seen images, you can actually remove that. It pops out right behind that red X there, and you can just snap it right back in and it holds secure on there. I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff with it actually removed. You would be able to get a really good look at the sculpted detail of his body, which is pretty insane. Same with his arms, these gauntlet pieces. The hands, I thought at first these hands were going to be the same as like the Apocalypse hands, but in fact they are different. I thought I'm like, wait, yeah, they look the same, but you can see the lines, the sculpted detail are different. There's a lot more lines on Apocalypse as opposed to Colossus, so they are not the same. So that is pretty cool when we get all new molding and sculpt and everything, especially for a Build-A-Figure. Red boots, as you can see there, and that's it. The red shorts. But yeah, he's a really big boy. So now let's see his articulation. He's quite large, so I have to kind of like bring my camera back, so I'm sitting further back and I gotta reach over, so I'm trying to do this the best that I can. So he can look down that much, he can look up that much, so it is on a ball disc hinge, so that's gonna mean not a lot of pivot, a little bit. You need a full rotation on the head, of course, if you wanted to do so. The shoulders you can get to go out that far out, basically straight out. You get a full rotation in there, but it's riveted, so you gotta be careful. See what I mean? It just comes off so easily. I'm going to leave that off to the side for now. There is an upper bicep swivel on those arms, and contrary to what I would have thought, there's actually a double jointed elbow in there. Usually the larger pieces, larger bodies and characters usually get like a single jointed elbow, but there actually is two in there. So if you wanted to work one and then work the other, you're only going to get that much bend. So that's less than 90 degrees. Single jointed elbow basically would have been about the same, but it is a double jointed. Wrists swivel and they do hinge. We have an ab crunch in here for Colossus, so he can crunch forward that much. He can go back that much, but then that strap comes undone at that belt piece there, but that's easy. We could just kind of pop it back on there to secure it. We have a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart, which is pretty damn good. He can kick forward that much, not a whole lot. He's a big dude. Doesn't really go back. You have an upper thigh cut right where the leg does come together. We have a double jointed knee, which gives us a fair amount of bend at the knee, as you can see there. There's no boot swivel or anything like that. Foot hinges down quite a bit, and a little bit of hinge up, ankle pivot, and tiny peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And I don't know if those are regular size or, and then the foot's just a lot larger, but they look smaller to me. So if you use some kind of stand which pegs into the bottom of the feet, not sure if they are going to work with this guy or not. But there is Colossus. And of course I already switched one of the hands because we do get interchangeable hands. So to do that, you know, you just pull at the hand, get the other one you want to use, and just pop it right on in there to interchange the hands. There we go. Let's take a look how this looks without. So we're going to pop that off, and you just work it around the arms and everything, the shoulder strap. You just work it around the head, and then you can have Colossus there looking all shirtless and beefy. So, you know, with the muscle design, and then, you know, the metal forming over the muscle, that I guess that's how it will look. It's kind of crazy how much sculpt and detail and stuff is actually onto his back. Really cool looking. Pretty interesting. But yeah, that's how he looks. But I think it looks kind of funky without, so I'm going to put those things back on. Okay, for some size comparisons, here we have the Colossus Build-A-Figure next to the Age of Apocalypse Deluxe figure, and then the Wave 1 Sugar Man Build-A-Figure. So, large figures for Age of Apocalypse. So now, I'm going to kind of show you guys some ranking, I would say. Colossus is awesome. I'm going to go with number 1 being Iceman in the wave for me. Number 2 being Sabretooth. It was almost number 1, but damn, Iceman just really took the spot. Number 3, I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Shadow Cat for my number 3. My number 4 would be Magneto. My number 5 would be Rogue. Number 6 would be Legion. Number 7 would be Cyclops, because this one's a piece of crap. I don't like it at all. That is number 7. If I were to throw Colossus in the mix, he'd probably take the number 3 spot after Iceman and Sabretooth. But to continue on, let's add in all of the Age of Apocalypse figures. So, Xman, Jean Grey, and there's just there's a bunch of figures when you got 2 waves of 7 plus the 2 Build-A-Figures. You know, that's 16 plus Apocalypse, 17 figures. That's a lot of figures. I don't know how well I'm gonna get on the screen. I can block Cyclops because I don't care about him. No big deal if nobody can see him. So we throw Sunfire into the mix. I don't really have anywhere to put Morph, and his cape really gets in the way. So we're gonna kind of have Morph behind Colossus back there. You can't really tell. Wild Child. Where am I going to put you, Wild Child? Are you going to fit right in there? Kind of bump Cyclops, not a big deal. Leaning forward kind of a little bit, but he's in there. And Dark Beast, which I don't know how I'm going to fit him, but if I were to throw him in there, Dark Beast is in there, we'll lay him down, you can see him. So that's a lot of figures for Age of Apocalypse, but I know that there's a lot of other characters that Hasbro has not released, and I think would sell well if they released. Nightcrawler would be very interesting. They did a Nemesis Build-A-Figure back in the day. I don't know if that wave was like exclusive to Walmart at the time or whatever it is, but at that time, 6-inch Marvel Legends weren't that popular, so would we get another one at this point? I don't know. The Holocaust character, Apocalypse's son, right? Nemesis, the action figure, they called it Nemesis for obvious reasons. But that would be really cool if we got an updated version of that figure. I think it's really pricey if you're even able to find a completed one or one that's not broken at the helmet piece. Would be really cool. So I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. Would you like to see a wave 3 of X-Men The Age of Apocalypse? Because there's a lot of figures that would be cool to come out. I would love to get a Mr. Sinister from Age of Apocalypse, but who knows if that's in the cards and if that's going to work out. But you guys let me know it on the comments below. Which would you like to see a wave 3, and which characters specifically would you love to see get released in a wave 3? Let me know in the comments below. I already started removing figures, but yes, I did forget to include Weapon X in the mix. He is there. I had him off to the side. I had completely forgot about him. I didn't have him ready in my hand like the other figures. So imagine him being in there somewhere, maybe lying on top of Dark Beast to make space. Okay, and just the wave and all the figures released there. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this video, what you think of the wave, what do you think of the Colossus Build-A-Figure. Let me know down all in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.